You haven't eaten a carb you actually enjoyed in 3 months. You're doing cardio 4 days a week. You downloaded a calorie tracking app and used it for 11 whole days before it started feeling like a part-time job with no paid vacation. And the belly is still there. Same zip code. No plans to leave. The problem isn't your effort. The problem is that everything you were told to do for this specific kind of fat was the wrong advice. After 40, belly fat is not a calorie problem. It's a hormonal problem. And today, I'm going to walk you through the actual drivers, the ones nobody in the fitness industry has much financial incentive to explain, because most of them have nothing to do with buying a gym membership or a meal plan. No 18-hour fasting protocols that you're supposed to pretend are sustainable. Stick around for the last one because it's the most overlooked driver of belly fat after 40. And every single one of us is getting it wrong. And girl, if you address even 3 of these this month, I promise your midsection will start responding in a way that no amount of cardio ever managed to produce. And you'll finally understand what your body has been trying to tell you this entire time. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about why belly fat after 40 behaves differently than it did before. The short answer is estrogen. When estrogen declines, your body loses its primary cortisol buffer. Cortisol, the stress hormone, now has significantly more influence over where fat gets stored. And cortisol has a very specific address it prefers: the visceral abdominal region. Right here. The cruel part? Most of what we do to try to lose that belly, aggressive calorie restriction, intense cardio, skipping meals, raises cortisol. So we're feeding the exact problem we're trying to solve. I did this for 2 full years and genuinely could not understand why nothing was working. Do I wish someone had just told me this sooner? Girl, desperately. Driver 1. Sleep. Not 6 hours. 7 to 9. This is the one most of us are silently failing at while telling ourselves we're totally fine. When you sleep less than 7 hours, cortisol rises the following day. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, rises, and leptin, the satiety hormone, drops. Your body is now chemically programmed to eat more, move less, and store fat preferentially in your abdomen. A 2010 study found that women sleeping 5 hours or less had significantly higher cortisol levels and greater abdominal fat than women sleeping 7 to 8. Same diet, same exercise, more belly. Just from less sleep. No supplement fixes this. No extra espresso shot comes anywhere close. Driver 2, blood sugar instability. Every time your blood sugar spikes and crashes, hello, skipped breakfast followed by an extremely ambitious 3 p.m. snack situation, your body releases cortisol to pull glucose back up. That cortisol tells your body to store fat centrally. The goal isn't to eat less. It's to eat in a way that keeps blood sugar stable throughout the day. Protein at every meal, fiber before sugar, no eating a handful of crackers on an empty stomach, and then acting surprised when you feel like a different person 40 minutes later. Steady blood sugar is more reliable for reducing belly fat after 40 than any workout you will ever do. That is not an exaggeration. Driver 3, chronic low-grade stress. Not the big dramatic stressors. Your body handles those and moves on. The dangerous ones are the small, constant, never fully resolved ones. The inbox that's always slightly too full. The to-do list that never actually reaches 0. The background hum of "I should be doing more" that follows you from the moment you wake up to the moment you try to fall asleep. That ambient, persistent stress keeps cortisol elevated around the clock. Slow, unrelenting, abdominal, and the worst part is that it's invisible. You can't see it the way you can see a bad workout, so you never address it the way you would a bad workout. Driver 4, your liver. This one surprises people every time. Your liver is responsible for clearing excess estrogen from your body. When it's overburdened, from alcohol, ultra-processed foods, environmental toxins, or just chronic inflammation, it clears estrogen more slowly. Estrogen accumulates. And that imbalance signals the body to store fat in the lower abdomen and hips. Supporting liver function isn't glamorous. More cruciferous vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, the Brussels sprouts you actually eat, instead of just photographing for your meal prep Instagram grid. Less alcohol, less of the things that come in packaging with 12 ingredients you can't pronounce. The liver is the least talked about character in your hormonal belly story. Turns out, it's actually the lead. Speaking of leads, this is the point where most women ask, okay, but what do I do for movement? Because I still want to train. That's exactly the gap I built the 28-day isometric challenge for. It's the movement protocol for the woman over 40 who wants to lose belly fat without adding to the cortisol load that's already working against her. It works by using progressive isometric training. The lowest cortisol, highest muscle activation form of movement that exists, synced to your complete hormonal cycle, week by week. So your body builds strength and reshapes your midsection instead of firing a stress response every time you exercise. Within the first 2 weeks, most women feel their deep core engaging in a way it never did with cardio, their waist tightening, and their sleep actually improving. Because the training is no longer draining the system. It's linked in the description below. If you're watching on a TV, scan the QR code on the screen. Either way, takes you straight to it. Now, the two drivers that most women never even consider, and they may be the biggest pieces of the whole puzzle. Driver 5, gut inflammation. Your gut and your cortisol axis are in constant conversation. When gut inflammation is high, from a low-fiber diet, chronic stress, or years of eating on the run, it triggers systemic inflammation, which elevates cortisol, which stores fat centrally. A 2021 study found a direct correlation between low gut microbiome diversity and higher visceral fat in women over 40. The practical version of that? Add fermented foods, eat more fiber variety, and reduce the ultra-processed foods your gut bacteria genuinely cannot do anything useful with. You're not just what you eat, girl. You are what your gut can actually process. And after 40, that relationship gets a lot more specific. Driver 6. The wrong kind of exercise. Here's the one that ties everything together. And yes, I know the title said it's not about exercise, but what I mean is it's not about more exercise. It's about the type. High-intensity cardio, HIIT, back-to-back circuit classes, these raise cortisol significantly. And after 40, your cortisol recovery window is longer than it was in your 30s. 2 intense sessions without adequate recovery can keep cortisol elevated for 48 to 72 hours, which means your workouts are actively instructing your body to store fat in the exact area you are trying to lose it. The solution is not to stop moving. The solution is to move differently. Strength training at moderate intensity, daily walking, and isometric holds. Forms of movement that build muscle and activate your metabolism without triggering the hormonal response that undoes all the other work. Here's where to start this week. Sleep first. Nothing else performs at full capacity without it. Add protein to every single meal. No exceptions. Take 5 minutes before bed to actually decompress. Not scroll, not catch up on one more thing. Decompress. Add something fermented to your day. And if you're currently doing more than 3 high-intensity sessions per week, drop one and replace it with a 30-minute walk. That single swap has more hormonal impact than it has any right to. This is not about doing less. It's about doing the right things in the right sequence for the body you actually have right now. Drop in the comments which of these surprised you the most. I read every single one, and I genuinely want to know which one landed. If you like honest, hormone-aware content built for real women over 40, subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you want to know exactly what to eat to support the blood sugar, the liver, and the gut all at once, check our channel playlist. Your body hasn't been failing you, girl. It's been sending a very clear signal that nobody helped you decode. Now you have the translation. Go use it. because at 40, 50, and beyond, you're only just getting started.